Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and I will be your Dungeon Master this evening. We're back for session number 60 of The Adventures of the Salamander Coast. Boy, do we have a lot in store for tonight's session, because the title is Wind and Water, or Water and Wind, or some combination of W words, and that is only the iceberg. If things go the way I think they're gonna go tonight, tonight's session is gonna be a weird one, but in not a confusing way, like the time travel, and like a what the fuck Joe kind of way. So we'll just kind of see what happens. All right, let's roll the intro and get started.
Read the summary.
All right, we are back, and we're gonna dive in to this session this evening. There's a lot going on in this session, and of course, as always in these games, I have my players do the summaries because having the players do the summary, I find is a good way for me to understand what the players think is important. Now, issue is sometimes the players actually don't write their own summary. Sometimes they just read a summary written by somebody else, but that's okay, because in one way, shape, or form, it still lets me know what the players are thinking, even though it's just one player's thoughts, as opposed to the player that is actually reading the summary. Cameron, are you back yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I tried to vamp for long.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really good, and I just want to say that Mark is us, so his thoughts are our thoughts.
We are Mark.
We are Mark. Okay.
I am Legion. Okay, so with that, Cameron, take it away. Summarize. Speak it plain, child.
Session 59. The party arrived in Richka after several days' travel. Carasilla was invited to perform as a gleeman, but for some reason, the general public seemed more wary of Bianca than usual. Bianca learned a little more about Suna and noticed that there was something difficult about her past that she wasn't talking about yet. Then, a squad of Children of the Flame arrived in town with a letter for the twin. It was an offer from Hrothgar, now the new Lightbearer, for one of them to take a role with him in Bromsgrove. Despite how hard it was for her to leave the group and her sister, Morwen eventually decided that she needed to go to keep Hrothgar on the right path. They promised to stay in touch. Once she left, the party saw a dreadful sight, a wasp from Wicker, one of the 13 Forsaken. It flew around them and then through town and abruptly died. Suna, who had read about the 13 at college, informed the party that Wicker could use these wasps as eyes and ears, and he most likely destroyed them after spotting the party. The party asked the barkeep about local oddities. He confirmed that Wicker had been through and even sold honey to most of the town, and that the wasps had been bothersome for some weeks. He also explained the area's fear of tieflings, since many believe fiend spawn caused the collapse of the kingdom long ago. Finally, they learned of Lake Arumaga, an area where there had been strange fiend sightings with creatures that looked like experiments of some sort. They then sought out Eliana, and she explained a fiend invasion from 25 years ago. It remains mostly unexplained, but it caused the increased fear around tieflings and a stronger reliance on the southern clans for protection. Mm-hmm. She also thought any rumors about Lake Arumaga were exaggerated. When they returned to the bar, they saw a rock clansman demanding payment under penalty of death. The barkeep explained that the payment was supposed to be left near the lake. The party agreed to help.
Yeah, exactly. So, with that, the late afternoon hours, about 3-4 o'clock that you find yourselves in right now, the rock clansmen having just left the tavern and having a small conversation with the owner of the tavern, Russ or Ruslan, the half-orc man, top knot, balding, He informed all of you that that payment should have been made and they should have received it, but whatever happened prevented them from. Oh, hey Shane, thanks for the resub for 19 months. You were real G for that. All right, thanks. It has been a hot minute. We are still here, and we will keep up the good stuff. If for nobody else, for you. All right. Yeah. Love you, bud. All right, so you had met with Russ and talked with him and had determined that in some way you're going to try and help, whether it be fighting whatever rock clansmen come here, whatever things are there, or even trying to find the supplies that were left outside of the city. Perhaps maybe they were just misplaced or they were taken by a group of local bandits. You're not quite sure. So, with that, as it now is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can hear outside the sounds of rain and thunder begin to come crashing down. Torrential rains for the rest of the day. And for those of you that speak freedom units, it's about 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Or... Wow. It is about 7.5 degrees Celsius. So it's a bit chilly today. Springtime weather, you know what they say, March showers. There's not a saying about March showers. It's April showers, but that's okay. Man, I was talking to, holy shit, Shane, oh my God. Gifted 10 subs.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Shane. You're such a kind guy.
Shane.
Look at that. Oh. Look at you go. Holy shit, nice. You're the best. I love you, man. Thank you very... Oh, God, it keeps... I'm going to wait to talk until it's done exploding because it's... it's just so funny. Mm.
I will just... I have a... As the subs are coming through, I have a moment of just question. There we go.
Yeah,
yes.
A moment of question. I grant you this moment.
Man.
You may have it.
Thank you, my benevolent DM.
Yes.
Just because I imagine, like, I asked this when we were talking to Ross, but
yeah.
With the supplies, was there like, were they meant to be put in like a little small like storehouse or something? Like, surely they're not just out in the elements. Or
yeah.
like, I don't know if it's like, you know.
Yeah, so upon talking to Russ, he will tell you the half-orc man will kind of scratch the small tuft of hair that he has on his chin and say,
well, it wasn't just left out, no. There is a small huntsman shack.
Thank you.
A small huntsman shack where these,
Shane! Look at that, he cheered too. What a guy. Makes you cry. Und I did. Oh my God. You're the best, Shane. All right. Look at that. I feel weird just saying thanks and then moving on, but thanks, and I'm gonna move on. Love you, bud. You're the best. All right, so he says,
yes, there is a small by now it is an abandoned stable that those items were placed in. They were nothing too complicated. They were food, some basic medical supplies that are harvested in the nearby regions that are not easily available in the mountains. But, yes.
Well, this is Felicity. Unless, Gemma, you still had a follow-up to that.
I mean, a small follow-up of how long would it take to actually get out there?
Okay.
To the lake, to the abandoned stables near the lake, maybe 5 or 6 hours. By horseback, maybe 2.
Either way, it's time I feel like we don't exactly have. But still probably work with this.
And Joe, I had a question of a moment of like hindsight.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, I don't know how we would roll this, but like I kind of wanted to like check the vibe or the truthfulness of that interaction with the like clans guy and Russ.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's okay if like since it's kind of past you don't want to. I literally thought of this right now though, where I was like, wait a second, is that an
No,
act?
I will say, I mean, obviously it kind of happened very quickly, and you didn't really have that much time to react and interpret it in a way that would have been appropriate for your character. So I'd say we can have one retroactive insight check from just Bianca.
Okay. We'll go to my skills. Okay, insight. 15.
15. So as far as you can tell, yeah, it seemed to be truthful. By the way, we'll go ahead and pull you inside the squeaky wheel in.
Okay.
Oh, you got this new Patreon shit going on in here.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, hell yeah! With the flames.
Yep.
Sorry. I just like it.
I'm glad you do, Mark. I like it too. That's why I'm using it.
Well, knowing what we know now, I think Bianca would kind of start to lead people upstairs to one of the rooms just to like talk in private
course.
about what we can do about the situation.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can easily finish your conversation up with Russ. He'll sort of give you a nod, and all of you are then free to kind of do what you want, other than the promise that you have of helping in some way. You've yet to see what that will be.
Yeah, unless anyone had more questions for him, but I think Bianca kind of wants to just talk about like what everyone's feelings are about it and like what we can do in our room. So,
Yeah,
but
head up the staircase all the way up on the side to your room's second story, way back in the back.
cool. Yeah, so once everyone's in there and settled, she'll just kind of turn to everyone. All right, so that's a bit of a situation it seems like they're in. I feel like we should help somehow. Because even if there are some assholes, I don't know.
Being a good person is
What was the last word you said, Cameron?
exhausting. I'm sorry, my mother still has my microphone.
Just get closer to
She's almost done.
Okay. It's okay, my man.
It's okay. I heard just being a hero is, and I was like, yes, it is.
Retweet.
Retweet. Yeah, exactly. These are my family's people. I don't feel right just walking away. I don't know if that makes sense.
I certainly don't think we're walking away from this. I mean, at the very least, we need to stay here the night, right? It'd be nice to avoid any unpleasantries.
Right.
And Mimir from your hip, Bianca, says, correct me if I'm wrong, lass, but your parents will be here in the morning, won't they?
Yeah. And that'd be really bad if the town is in ruin when they arrive. I don't know if these bandits would, I guess, destroy the town. The last ones with the Gorgons, they came in and took some people. I can't remember what he said.
Well, they turn them into stone somehow and smash them.
Yeah. Yes.
So hopefully regardless of what happens, it won't be a complete leveling of the town, but I don't know, I think avoiding anything happening is better than nothing. And
So-
I don't know how talkative the clans will be,
I don't know.
but I'm always willing to give it a shot.
I get the feeling we need to check out this lake anyway at some point. There's just a few too many things that seem wrong about it. I feel like if we just walk past it, it'll bite us in the ass later anyway.
Right, but we probably don't have time to go out there to the lake before they get here, right?
No, but
Well, you
if
said it
we
was
could perhaps
3.
propose going out there, right? I mean, if there's clearly something that's been tampering or taking the supplies, then I don't know, maybe we could arrange for ourselves to go look at it. Have it be no cost to the clan. Allow it to solve whatever problem they have with things being taken from them.
That's true. Maybe we could just get in contact with them and you can talk to them and we can... Maybe they'll hold off on whatever they're doing if we can see if we can figure out what's going on.
If anyone can convince them to, it's you.
Just hope that convincing will be enough, but, you know.
And if not, we got your back.
Well, I sure hope so. I suppose, other than that, I don't think there's too much we can plan besides helping them. We don't know enough about this lake, I suppose. It is truly some fish monsters or something else. Whatever it is, Wick is interested in it. That should be enough.
All right.
Sounds horrifying.
That's
Well,
better than the heist we just had to do, so...
Fair enough.
clarity
Cecily?
question, Joe. Are they are the Rock clan coming tonight or tomorrow? I forget.
Tonight. The specific words that he said is, rest well this night, for the only comfort of sleep you will find will be in death. So,
Okay. So Cecily, yeah, it's like the math gif, and she'll be like, okay, so they're coming tonight.
Fair. But it's 3 o'clock right now.
Mhm.
So we do have
Okay.
time to go to the lake, even if it's a 2-hour trek before.
Yeah, theoretically, if we got
Oh,
horses,
do we? Okay.
could. Yeah, that's mostly what I was asking. If we got horses, I guess we could technically at least check out the lake, and if it's not there, we might at least gather information.
Yeah, and we should still like talk to whatever contact Russ maybe has or something, if we can, or get in contact with them. And have Caracilla kind of explain, just in case things go wrong, because we know that shit happens. But Bianca's gonna turn to Cecily. So that spell you do where you change how you look,
Yeah.
can you do that on other people?
I think it's just a me thing. I mean,
Okay.
I can try.
I feel fine in this town, but the more we get to those more zealous people, I think it might be a good idea just to kind of hide what's right here. And she'll point to her horns.
Let's just get a hat. Maybe a good cloak.
and at the end of the day, if that doesn't work, we could get you an extra tall shirt with a collar. You tuck your head into the collar, and then you put me on top of your head, and bada bing, bada boom. I've got me a body
Suppose we do
again.
have options.
I do like that.
Okay, first she's
we'll
gonna
find
pull up her
something.
hood and like pull down, and her horns are gonna poke through. So no, I've never found a hat to cover both. That's a really wide hat. I don't really want to shave them down again.
I think that, and Suna just kind of like sitting in in a chair in the corner of the room, just listening, but away from the intensity of the conversation, says, I think that I could maybe help.
You have something?
I could make something. If you give me maybe a day or two, I could give you the ability to alter yourself. It wouldn't last very long, maybe an hour or two. But when we go into a city, it could be a way for you to get in without anyone noticing you. And then when we need to leave, you use it again. I can make these coins that have spells embedded into them. And so I could give you 2 coins of alter self. So when we enter, you could change, and then when we leave, you could change again.
That would be great.
I could also do disguise self, but the issue with that one is it's an illusion. So if someone were to get close enough and try to put their hand on your head or what have you, they would feel your horns. Alter self, it can physically change you through magic, but physically you would be different.
I guess alter self would be the best option, but whatever you can do would be helpful. I don't want to cause more problems than there already is.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know the names of any of my shit, technically, but... Alright, here, let me try, and then if this doesn't work, we'll do the coin thing. And Cecily, I mean, it is alter self, so this is not going to work. Mark knows that, but she will, like, place a hand on Bianca and try to cast it, but then she will just turn into Bianca. Okay, so I think you need to do the Suna thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Suna. That's great.
Of course, I'm happy to do so.
What does that feel like, having your just grow horns or lose horns or change like that? If it's actually you.
I don't know if I could describe it briefly.
Gotta be weird.
Yeah, no, we'll just say weird. Yeah, look,
Maybe when things are better, I could give you one of the coins, Suni, so you could try it. I just think now might be good to focus on Bianca.
Oh, yeah, I don't need to feel it. I was just curious.
That's fair.
well, how do we feel about getting some horses real quick and seeing if we can see anything at the lake? The only trouble is, if something happens and we don't end up coming back on time, then everybody loses, I think.
Then we just have to get back on time.
Yeah, let's
That's what
head
I'm
out
thinking.
now. Caracilla, if you and someone else who wants to go with her can go see if you can get in contact with one of the clan members from Russ, and then me and someone else can go get the horses.
Well, I'm not the best at smooth talking, but I'm pretty good at lying.
All right, you go with Caracilla. Suni, you come with me. Suna, who do you want to go with?
I can stay here.
You sure?
Okay.
I can work on the coins. You can see she already has her stuff unraveled as she's already working on them.
All right, sounds great.
Do you want to leave the disembodied head as well?
Mimir, would you like to stay?
Oh, well, I'd prefer not to be on horseback, so sure. Maybe I can learn a thing or two about this Suna.
Keep each other
Alright.
company.
And you can see Suna's mouth kind of sours at that, and She doesn't protest, but she definitely doesn't want to talk. She just wants to hang out with the head.
Suna is so goofy. Okay. She will leave Mimir in the room with Suna.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Set him on the desk facing her.
All right, cool. So
Cool.
Carasilla, Cecily, you two are going to talk to Russ about getting in contact with the Rock Clan. Okay. Bianca, Suni, you go get horses. Acquiring the horses is easy enough. Just to rent what would be, I guess, only 2 of them, right? If you're just gonna put 2 people to a horse. It is...
Oh, I'm sorry. Before you go into getting the horses, I wanted to say that Suni would tell Bianca that he had something that he wanted to try, that he thought would do something, and he's going to spend 10 minutes before they go, or at least when they get to wherever the horses are, and cast Find Steed.
Nice.
Because I have not done that yet, and this is the opportune time, I guess. If we're
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I guess I will. Do you have that picture that I sent you, Joe? I don't know if I was just gonna share it in Discord.
Oh yeah, share it in Discord, and I can.
Oh, dude, you got a magical horse companion picture?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let me see if I can even fucking it. Sorry, carry on. I'll find it in a sec.
So, Bianca, the horses are a little expensive now. Still needing 2. They're a little more expensive than any other horses you've ever had to rent before.
Can I insight why?
I don't think you need an insight check. It's 2 gold pieces. 1 gold piece is 1 gold piece of horse.
Look, I want to use intimidation to get these punk ass bitches, but I know that won't really help the problem.
Is there any sway that being with a metallic dragonborn can bring?
Yes.
Can I cancel out the racism with positive racism? I'm sorry, that was a really horrible sentence. I take every word back.
I mean, but worth a shot?
Negative racial bias and positive racial bias. So yeah, you can approach, and you can see that the stable master is an elven woman, probably in her early 200s. She's a little bit older, and she's kind of a no-nonsense woman. And as you approach, there's not really anything that would lead you to believe that she is racist against tieflings specifically, but the prices are exorbitantly high. So as she says, 1 gold piece a horse, please, if you'd like to rent them. As she kind of says that and has a lot of venom specifically towards Bianca, Suni, what do you want to do to sort of turn the tide?
He's going to lean forward and put like an elbow onto whatever like the desk or is going on, and he's going to say, "Don't you think that's a little pricey for a horse?" And he's going to flash a very, very, as charming as a dragon person can be, smile at her.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay, that wasn't amazing, but persuasion, 15.
15, okay. You can see she kind of looks at you and sort of nods, and she
He licks his
says,
eyeball.
2 gold apiece. No, she says, and she kind of sighs and grimaces and goes, well, I suppose considering what happened to your order, I can give you a discount for the good that you used to do for the Old Kingdom.
Very kind of you.
We'll say 5 silver pieces a horse, or 1 gold total.
Now that, I think, is more like it. And he will pull a gold piece out, slide it to
All right. With that, she'll take them off the out of the stables, put the saddles and everything on them, and bring them out to you.
I imagine his smile is like the episode of Avatar when he's bartering with the pirate. Like,
What?
I already
one
referenced that.
Yeah, that's his energy right now.
No, I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. Copper piece given. Okay. Or not copper piece. Gold piece given.
100 copper pieces. Pay
Okay.
that bitch in pennies.
So, you do eventually get your horses, and you're able to saddle up, and you head back to the Squeaky Wheel in an effort to meet back up with Carasilla and Cecily. Carasilla and Cecily, as they're doing that, you head downstairs, and Russ does inform you that there's not really a he says,
Sadly, I don't have a way to communicate with the clans. They show up once a month if the payment doesn't go through. They don't receive what is due to them. I don't even know where to start in terms of finding them. I mean, you can head south towards the mountains, and eventually you'll run into something, but that could either be running into the rocks or the basilisks or any of them. Sadly, I don't have a way to directly communicate with them. You could always try smoke signals, but I don't know. Sorry.
I'll have a way to communicate. Then I guess as this follow-up question, do you think it would even be worth trying to set up a line of communication before tonight?
Oh. I don't think so. To them, the wrong has already been committed. And there's only one way to right that wrong. To them, if they aren't feared, then they aren't in control.
Guess we just
Well,
go
what about
straight
trying to convince them that the wrong hasn't been committed by at least this town? I think it's exactly from what you say. They want people to fear them. If someone is apparently stealing from what is rightfully theirs, then surely they'd be interested in stopping that.
Yes. You may have a point for someone with reason. Sadly, there's very little reasoning with them. I'm sure that it could be very easy for them to say it's our fault for it getting stolen in the first place. We should have left watches, we should have had guards, we should have this, that, and this. It's not their fault that someone stole it, we were just too weak to protect it. I can hear it already.
Right, well, still think if it's got any chance at working, it's worth pursuing. Rather that than have this town be lower of number than it already is. But either way, hopefully we'll still be able to do something for you.
If they're like the basilisks arrived on that fateful night and they gave us one final opportunity to pay. So there might be something similar. But they're different clans, so I don't know.
So, you've been strong-armed by all three of them?
Just 2. Out of 3.
Right.
Without any strong investors in the Old Kingdom. And there's no strength in the crown. The military of Belaclara doesn't care about the Old Kingdom. In fact, it's better for them if we fade away. if we just become farming country. So, because we have our old sense of pride, there's no way that they would ever send the military to protect us. So it's up to us to figure it out.
But what about that third clan, Basilisk, right? Why haven't they taken interest in here?
No, the basilisks have. I believe. The basilisks. Yes, the basilisks have. It's the Gorgons in the rocks. The basilisks, I'm not sure. They tend to be more inclined to places of power, specifically with magic. So for the larger cities, Maester tends to be where they try to pull some sway. If not that, they stick to the roads to rob caravans traveling from city to city.
Well, I guess at that point then we just need to go try to find some evidence and be the first to stand in their way when they get here.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in that. And if there's anything I can do to help you, just don't hesitate to ask.
In all honesty, I feel like information is the most useful thing you have, and I don't know if you still have any more you could tell us. Anything that would be useful.
You seem kind of think for a moment and kind of shrug and say,
In regards to this, sadly, I don't think there's anything else I can offer you. I hear a lot of stories from people passing through my inn, but nothing that could be helpful in this situation, I'm afraid.
Right, well, what you've told us is already helpful enough. Hopefully enough. But other than that, I suppose we are going to have a little look at this lake of yours.
Well, best of luck in your investigation, and do your best to stay dry.
gives you a soft smile with that.
Yeah, just give a little hat tilt. Then I guess hopefully meet the others outside.
Okay. So with that, you head outside, meeting the rest of the group out there as Carasilla and Cecily. You can see Suni riding up on his lizard with all along its back the different vines and feathers and leaves sort of clinging off of its shoulders in place of where there might be wings. And you can see a horse trailing, two horses trailing behind Bianca. But like I said, these sheets of torrential rain just coming down on top of you.
Okay, no fucking way they were selling that at the stables, Suni. I didn't know you could do that.
I think you might be muted, Cameron.
Fuck the mute button. All my homies hate the mute button.
Down
Dude,
with the
you're
mute
right.
button.
Yes. What? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I said initially, Cecily said, I didn't know they were selling that. I said, yeah, and I got a great fucking deal on it too. And then what did you say?
I didn't
I
know you
forgot.
could do that.
Oh, and then I said, I asked if Cecily remembered the little skunk that Suni used to have.
Alright, she'll nod. Uh-huh.
I think I've just, these past few nights, I've had images of this running through my head, and it's the same connection that I had to that little skunk. So I think I think this is Maggie, and I don't know. It felt like, I don't know, I was called to summon her. I don't know. It's just a weird paladin thing, I guess.
I get it. Magic shows up, you just kind of do it.
Yeah, just gotta roll with the punches.
Wow.
Welcome
Grew up
back,
kinda
Maggie.
fast.
It's been a while.
You can see the lizard creature will nod its head up and down at you as the branches and leaves and vines sort of shake and rustle.
It's cute.
She's
All
very
right.
sweet. You will scratch her behind the ear.
Well, we should get moving just in case we take a little bit of time at the lake.
Alright. Who am I riding double with?
Whatever you want. And Bianca
Oh.
will mount a horse.
Okay, Bianca, you could have just said you wanted me.
She'll help Leon up.
All right, everybody, keep an eye on Bianca. It's the first time you guys have had horses in a while.
Oh my god!
It'll never
We need
die.
these ones.
It's okay. It's fine.
She just
Unlike
panics
those
halfway
horses.
through. We're like halfway to the lake, and she's like, I can't do it! I gotta kill them!
Oh.
Man.
All right, amazing. By the way, Felicity, if it ever becomes a lol, your dad's dead situation, just let us know.
Oh no, I don't care.
Okay, all right. All
No,
right.
It's really funny. I forget about it, and then everyone else continues to remember. So it's funny.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Kinda like
Amazing.
retweet. Sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Well, that was something you remembered and everybody else forgot. It's
true.
That is
That's true.
That's a fun.
Well, actually, John remembered it today, and now it's fresh in my mind.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, John.
That's a PG.
Okay. So, with that, our party members head out, mounted into the rainy weather, northward towards Lake Arumaga. You continue riding north through the idyllic countryside of the old kingdom of Bella Clara. And eventually, after about an hour and a half to 2 hours of riding, it's rather peaceful. It's not very pretty outside right now just because of the rain, the cloudy, foggy weather. But eventually, you are able to make your way to the lake. And you can see that this is a rather large lake. And you can see that it is a bit more of a... It is a basin, or it's a lake kind of attached to a basin, where you can see that there is this large sheet of rocky hill and mountainous geography that kind of has this like lake built into the side of it, with these small streams kind of leaking off each which way, sort of carving throughout the land. But there still is this very large pool of water that you could easily call a lake in the center. It's maybe about... let's see. Trying to think here. So it's maybe about a half a mile in diameter. So it's rather large. And on top of, so like a little bit less than a kilometer, Gemma. So
Yeah, I was doing the mental math.
yeah.
Don't worry.
So yeah, it's a little bit less than 1 kilometer. It's about a half a mile. It's a rather large lake in diameter, and you can see that every once in a while, especially around the edges, there are these large rocks that are sort of jutting out of the water. But as soon as you start moving closer and closer towards the center, the water just gets darker and darker and darker and darker. However deep this goes, it is so deep that eventually sunlight stops traversing through. So with that, we'll go ahead and pull you to Lake Arumaga.
That's really interesting, since she said it was a puddle at one point.
I mean, it could just be like a lake that, like, you know, dries up more severely, I guess, when it's not as wet.
Maybe.
God, this art. All right, I'll calm down faster this time.
Yeah, clean up too, Jesus.
What was I say? Can we see that little like
God.
shack thingy as well?
Yeah, you can see that it's maybe 400 or 500 feet, right in the edge of your vision. You can kind of see it after looking through some of the trees.
Yeah, I'd want to start heading over there first.
Yeah. So easily you're able to head over there. You can see that it's definitely just was an abandoned stable, a small building of some kind. And you can see inside the shack itself, it is fairly dry, where at one point in time it seemed to have housed a fair collection of supplies, right? In this one dry spot, there are pallets that have kind of been thrown down. So in case the water level does rise at all, the goods stay dry. But it is completely empty.
And so, like, it doesn't look like it's been, like, I guess this is abandoned, so, like, but it's not, like, broken into, like, someone's, like, scuffed around and, like, you know, taken things.
No,
It's
there's
just,
also
you know,
there's also no
abandoned.
breaking into it. Yeah, it's an open kind of thing.
Yeah. Is there any, like, sign, I guess, of, like, especially if there's, like, fresh produce or anything, to get an idea of, like, when things will last here, or is it just too empty?
Make a survival check.
17.
17. Okay. So, even though it's raining currently, you can see that in the drier areas, there are footprints that you can barely pick up on. And one of the things that you notice about these footprints is they're not like regular human footprints. These footprints in particular kind of look to have like webbing on their feet, much more flat and spread out, a bit more like triangular shaped as opposed to rectangular shaped. You know what I mean? And there are quite a few of them. And you can see the footprints exit out back towards the lake.
Point those out to everyone. Make sure no one's, like, stepping on them, just in case we need proof for the rocks, but I don't know.
Following the footprints to the lake and just kind of like looking around, does anything, or I don't even know, like, do the footprints look reminiscent of anything? Like, I know Bianca's went to school, but she didn't really, we need Suna would have been way more helpful with footprints.
Well,
uh
make them coins.
because they look webbed, but do they look like people feet, or do they look like, you know, like, how foreign does this foot look?
How foreign does this foot?
I don't know how to phrase this.
That's a good quote.
Animalistic?
Yeah, I'm
They look like
Animalistic
humanoid
right now.
size, I guess.
No, definitely hybrid. Still humanoid. They're still larger, humanoid shaped. And I guess the one thing that is more peculiar is that they vary in shape and size. So some are more rectangular, more like human feet. Others are more wider, triangle, more like frog feet. It's peculiar. So some of the feet are very foreign, and some of the feet are not very foreign.
And then, like, following them to the lake, does it seem like they all went to the same, like, direction, or is it just, like, the lake itself? Like, they all kind of split off and...
No, definitely in the same direction. They all headed into the lake in the most direct path, and there's really no tracks you can follow into the water.
Yeah. The second thing I wanted to keep an eye out for was bees, or any sign of wicker.
Make an investigation check as you're in the area.
Boop, 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 doo. What'd I get? I got a 17.
17, okay. So yeah, you would be able to find what look to be small carcasses, specifically of those murder hornets that he had chased all of you with way back when in the Fractured Peninsula before getting on that boat. Those sort of huge, like palm of your hand size wasps, crushed, dead, destroyed. Every once in a while, you see what looked to be a wasp nest of some kind that would have been clung to a tree at one point in time. Now is like rotted out with water and is partially decaying in dust.
And Bianca will point that out to everybody else as well. Okay, so seems like the maybe fish people story was true, and it seems like Wicker maybe has stayed, or at least is not far.
Is there anything like peculiar going on with the water itself or any of the plant life or natural things?
Yeah, make an well, Suni, do you have dark vision? Did you say that earlier?
Well, I don't think that Dragonborn.
I don't think they do either. How are you going to go into the water and check?
Yeah, he'll go in and dip his toes in and maybe feel it splash around a little.
Yeah. Okay.
See.
Water's chilly. But go ahead and make a we'll say make a nature check. We'll say with advantage because, you know, you got that whole nature thing going on.
That's a 14.
That was the best you could do, huh?
Yep.
Advantage.
No, that's okay. No, 14 is enough. It is not uncommon for larger lakes such as this to have their own ecosystems, so to speak. You know, a collection of fish and plants, vegetation that grow and exist inside these areas. On the edges, that is very true. Small puddles of or pools of moss laying atop the water, fish swimming around the edges, or even every once in a while a frog on a lily pad just kind of floating about near the edge. But anytime anything starts to drift closer to the center, it kind of is pulled underneath. Or plant life in general near the soil, near the ground, just does not exist once you get maybe 50, 60 feet from the edge of the water.
If I is there like a larger stick or piece of bark or something that I can like drift in towards the middle, just try to observe the thing getting pulled under, and then let draw everyone's attention to the as well.
Yeah, sure. You can grab a stick from the woods that are right behind you and toss it towards the center. That could work. Or closer to the center than what you're at. And you can see that as you toss it, it lands on the water, and it floats to the center of the lake for a little bit until it reaches about as far as you can tell would be the center, and very slowly is pulled underneath.
Yeah, there's something fucky with this lake.
Uh-huh.
We don't happen to have any good swimmers among us, do we?
I have the worst idea. Want to hear it?
Please.
So, that whole change my appearance thing I'm able to do, well, we could do a little more with it. I think I've showed off this before, and she'll make like little claws or whatever in her hand. Well, I forget how I figured this out, but one of those days we were on the boat, I figured out I can give myself gills too.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I can go down there.
That feels sketchy.
Yeah, because you can go down there. We can't.
Yeah.
I could send Maggie down there, maybe. I don't know if she can swim.
Why don't we try and investigate a little more before we jump in? Because Bianca's gonna try to look. I mean, it's pretty dark.
Oh.
But not like, she's not gonna like swim over there or anything, but like just kind of look, see if she sees anything now that we know there's maybe a creature or something down in there.
Yeah, and so you're saying you're sort of getting near the edge and looking?
Yeah, I wouldn't get any further than Suni's gone.
Okay. So let's see, 120 or 90 feet dark vision.
I think it's only 60.
60. Oh yeah, you're right. It's just 60.
I don't think it was anything special.
Sorry,
Mine.
I thought that you had your dad's a drow, but you didn't inhabit his eyes.
No.
Inhabit?
Nope. But
Oh my God.
With his eyes, Jesus.
I have his eyeballs. Literally. Not his eyes. Okay. I mean, are
No.
Carousel and I the two dark vision people in the party now?
Yeah.
Suppose so, yeah.
Just you guys.
What is this?
I mean, wait.
What?
Hold on. I forgot about this, but since it's dark, we need to be investigating. Half the party cannot see. The gauntlet, the Lightbrow's gauntlet, lets me cast daylight. So, yes.
Nice. Take a look
Nice.
in the water.
Also,
Yeah, it's only 60 feet bright light, 60 feet dim, so it's not going to get us to the center. But at least we're going to have vision of the surrounds.
Yeah,
And
I
we
mean,
could
that's twice as
light
good as
it
the
up.
drift globe.
Well, we could light it up and then throw a stick or something again and see what grabs it.
Yeah, if anything.
Right. Or if it just like sinks.
sounds good. So you cast daylight and throw another stick out there. By the way, Suni, your lizard would be able to hold its breath for up to 15 minutes and has a swim speed of 30. So
Hell yeah.
there's that. Your lizard is
Nice.
not one of the ones that can spider climb, though. So,
Okay, fair enough.
so
Mutually exclusive lizard traits.
exactly. So you cast daylight, creating this bright luminance, this illuminating sphere around the area emanating from Carasella's gauntlet. And with that, you throw the stick, and you can very easily tell from that point that once the stick gets to the center, it's not pulled underneath by anything. There is just this, whether it be suction or pull down towards the very bottom. But nothing is grabbing it and yanking it down there. It is a slow descent.
Can we tell how deep it is?
Ooh,
Down?
from where you're at now, there is not a good indicator. Even moving closer to it and sort of sticking your head underwater and looking, even with Bianca's 60 feet of dark vision, the bottom is deeper than 60 feet from as far as you're going in.
And it does not seem like there's anything like toxic or dangerous about the water, per se.
No, it's cold.
Okay.
It's darker than what may be normal, but it's also rainy and cloudy outside. There's no natural sunlight, so that could also be a factor.
Do we have any rope?
I'm sure someone has.
How long of rope?
It's typically 50 feet of hempen rope is what most standard packs come with.
So
All tire rope.
if we could tie a rope around Cecily so she can breathe and swim down there, maybe even with Maggie if you wanted to.
Always use the buddy system.
Yeah. Because at least then, if she starts to get pulled down, because, like, no offense, Cecily, like, swim speed, unless you can alter yourself to have a good swim speed, it seems way too risky just to send you down there and maybe get sucked down. But then maybe you
Well,
could
my
get
aquatic form will have a swim speed of 30 feet.
Okay.
So there's at least that. I'll be
Yeah,
moving
that's
as
better.
normal.
I can telepathically communicate with Maggie up to 1 mile, so
Nice.
Ooh,
so that
actually,
way
compounding on that then, sorry.
Ooh,
Um,
compounding.
I can do a quick ritual and give us all a telepathic bond.
oh yeah.
That way, if anything goes wrong, Cecily can
Nice.
cry out for help.
Scream inside all of your brains.
We'll do the rope anyway, because let's
Yeah.
say it's like a hypnotic pull down there. Like, we need to make sure.
We gotta OSHA this shit. This is dangerous.
Yeah, even if Cecily can get back on her own, we want to be sure she will, so.
I also want to say, John is saying that this is not a good idea, but you should definitely do it. So,
Yeah, agree.
Thanks, John.
100%.
It's a terrible idea, but here we go.
But yeah. Make everyone hold hands just for, because it's cute.
Yeah.
I'll do the ritual, and we're all gonna be, because it's up to 8 willing creatures, so, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
all right. Is it all thoughts or the ones that you select?
Oh, that'd be funny.
I mean, it's targets can communicate, so I imagine it is.
It's optional. It's not like you're just hearing Cecily, bread.
Yeah, it's the same with like
Yeah.
check familiars and shit.
Fred.
It's just you can project your thoughts out there to the communal
Okay.
group.
That's so
Yeah.
much better. Can you imagine just as soon as we cast it, everybody is like, we need to stop. Like, it's just like immediate
Absolutely.
barrage of sound.
I kind of wish it was that one, just a little bit.
Especially when you can do like 8 creatures, just everyone's thoughts simultaneously.
God.
It
And
is,
it's
everybody-
like nobody can stop thinking. So it's just
And like
like,
if each of those people had a familiar, then it'd be like 16 because then it'd be the thoughts of the familiar too.
Okay,
Yeah, now
no.
all of you
alright.
can hear lizard thoughts from Maggie.
Yeah.
that she sends.
That she says to us.
What does she send?
Who knows?
Food.
Yeah, we can include her in there as well, as long as she has an intelligence score above 2 and has a common language
shares
with
mine,
us.
Well, I guess
So,
you're the
hell yeah,
language
she's
here.
included.
I'll translate for her.
Nice.
I swim.
So,
Question mark.
whoever's hempen rope that we have, let's tie that around Cecily's waist, I guess.
Don't most beginning packs have rope?
Yeah,
they
I
do.
just have it track.
Between us, we surely have rope. Like at
yeah.
some
It,
point,
it
Yeah.
should.
Would've bought
You.
rope.
I mean, it better be in your inventory, else you
Yeah,
don't have rope.
I have 50 feet of rope in my inventory, so
Nice.
Alright,
Soon
there we
as
go.
rope.
I mean, and also like all the times where it's just like, oh yeah, we like go and buy supplies before we head out. I feel like supplies would be rope. So
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
Right.
Hey, listen, man. Yeah, okay, I'm right.
you gonna be that DM, Joe?
I run a realistic game, all right.
Oh my god. Oh no, I've been tracking
You know
my
what?
rations. What will I do?
We're switching to the 1 week long rest. Now!
Well, anyway,
Rope, daylight, telecommunication, gills. I even have the drift globe in Cecily's pocket if I need another 30 feet of magical light once I get a little deeper. Maggie's coming with.
I
Does
think
anyone
we're
have anything else? Because I think we're about as safe as this plan can get.
should
I'll give you
we?
product inspiration.
Yes,
Nice.
good call. Should we tie the rope to another person or an object
Is there
above?
like a tree or a large rock that we could tie it to?
Yeah, there are a
Yeah,
lot
definitely
of
an anchor.
there are a lot of rocks on the edge of the water that you could easily tie it to give Cecily as much space as possible.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
I would
Because now
vote,
without
yeah.
Morn, we're very weak. So
Yeah.
I would vote an anchor point just in case something that's like 500 pounds grabs her
Yeah.
and
Jesus.
somebody's not pulled in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be like fishing. If you see sudden tension on the rope, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it, Cecily.
Or again, like now we've got the loop. Like if you're still able to like talk, immediately get that warning out, and we'll pull you out.
Great.
Okay, cool.
Dude, hell yeah.
I'll now cast Alter Self for the 3rd time today. Been just a lot of this. So she has the rope snug, gives a nod to Maggie, and she's gonna, you see her just kind of sigh, like, why'd I recommend this? And she's gonna just run her fingers over the sides of her neck, and you're just gonna see, like, little, like, just kind of split open on the sides.
Ugh.
And she is gonna go ahead and swim down, and she's probably gonna take her boots off as well, because her hands and feet are also temporarily webbed. to help with the
Yeah.
swim speed. So,
Nice.
I
so
also,
she'll.
since we have two people kind of keeping an eye on that, I want Bianca to also kind of watch out and see if Wicker, like she's not actively looking for Wicker, but keeping an eye out for bees and Wicker in particular, so we're not so focused on this that we get distracted by anything that could happen.
Okay.
Are there any water bugs? I don't know if that's something that he would even have control over, but like those like stupid little water spider things.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any around? I don't know. I'm just thinking about bugs.
You're pretty confident you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Not to pull back the curtain at all.
Yeah.
No, it's all
But-
good.
I
Wicker's
just
thing
don't wanna-
is bees.
yeah. I just didn't know if it went to all insect, but
The Swarm
Because they're a
Master
lot.
Ranger thing, yeah, kinda. But Wicker is a bee guy.
I like to imagine that
know.
Suni's like, what am I doing? This guy's got a theme. There's no way. All right, well,
Okay.
Cecily's ready. she'll go ahead and slink down into the water then.
Sploosh. You dive down and you continue swimming. And let's see, there are 4 of you. So that is 200 feet of hempen rope, which is good. So, Cecily, you are swimming for quite some time until eventually you get about 175 feet down. Once you get to the center, swimming down is a lot easier as there's just this pull down towards the bottom. And with your lack of dark vision, daylight is doing nothing this deep down. So as soon as you hit the bottom, for one, you can feel your feet make contact with not dirt or sand, but solid stone. Hefty stone. And even on your webbed feet, you can feel the scraping of metal, actually. You can't see any of it, but you can feel it.
Okay. Well, first thing she'll do is telepathically call out to Maggie and stick out an arm just to make sure that they're, like, touching at all times now that it's this dark.
Yeah, Maggie will say, "Here," and will telepathically communicate that with you, translated via Suni, and will take a couple of the things of like vines and leaves that are attached to its back, and will kind of nudge those towards you for you to hold on to.
Okay. So Cecily will reach a webbed hand out for that. God, she's breathing through her neck. This is so gross. She'll... Yes, it's terrible. But, she will bend the other hand down a little bit and feel at the metal a little bit more that she felt with her foot, and see if she can discern if it's like a piece of metal or a weapon or like an entire sheet or a natural ore or, anything like that.
It is very odd. The stone itself, you can tell, is older. It is smooth from the amount of time the water has been eroding at it. It's a thick piece of stone, and the metal is newly laid over top of it. The metal is... You're not exactly sure without being able to see it, but it feels as though it's intricate metalwork in the shape of a symbol of some kind. You're not super sure what that symbol is. It's a little hard to tell. But you can also feel in the very center there is some type of seam.
Okay, she will report that to the group. And am I able to move the metal from where it is?
No, it is affixed into the stone.
Okay. That is certainly curious. So she'll report that. Can't move it. There's like a seam here. All the other information. And other than that, she's just going to wade slightly further and continue to feel out to the ground and to the edges just to see if there's any other strange sensations of any kind.
Yeah, so anything aside from this stone and metal, no, but feeling out the entirety of it, you can tell that it's about 35 to 40 feet in length and width and height. It's a square, or length and width. It's a square, and that symbol is spread out, covers the entire thing. But other than that, as soon as you get to the edge of it, it's back to that sort of sandy interior that most lakes have. It's just devoid of all life this far down. But like I said, you just cannot see anything.
Suni's gonna reach out and ask Cecily, can you tell where all of those things were down to? Is it that piece of metal, or is there a hole of some sort?
I can look. And I'm trying to think of how else she would be able to search for much now that we've gotten this far.
Vision?
Ooh, giant lizard?
Or did you say that?
Well, I thought you had that globe, Cecily.
Yeah, Joe said it's probably not going to work, right?
No, I said that the daylight didn't reach down the rest of the way.
Ah, well then I definitely... Whoopsie! Alright, well, after feeling around and determining that there's probably no life down here, she'll go ahead and start to use the drift globe then.
Okay. Pulling out the drift globe, activating it. Immediately the symbol is revealed to you. You can see that the symbol in and of itself is made of some type of brass or gold. And on certain parts, edges, there is that sort of teal hue to those edges. But the symbol that you see on top of the stone is something very similar to this.
Whoa.
Damn.
And that's like, the symbol is like as wide as the big stone section, right?
Yeah, it's about 40 feet wide and tall.
Jeez.
Like I said, the metal is new. The stone is old.
Right. All right,
The
she
metal
will...
is new, the stone is old. Okay.
She will call back up to the group with the telepathy. I don't really know what I'm looking at, but I think this lake is on top of some old, bad thing. I don't know, man. Sea monsters or something. She will try to memorize it as best as she can so she can, like, sketch it out when she gets back up. But otherwise, you know, she's not going to try to sketch it now. Okay. Alright then. If I use the drift globe and kind of move out a little bit further, is it all just more sand, or once I get toward the center, Is there something more noticeable, like where the sticks went down?
So I will say that the sticks are at the bottom. And they're right in the center, right along the seam. So it seems as though that seam is what's pulling things down, where there is
Gotcha.
something beneath it that isn't 100% sealed tight, where there's still some type of suction going down that way.
Okay.
Did Cecily
Well.
report that back up to us?
I will now.
Um,
Now that she's put that together.
okay. So even though we don't have the exact symbol, but like Cecily describing not only the symbol, but the seam and everything, and that it's on top of something, do the rocks or like the walls or like anything around this lake have anything that's like maybe a foreign language or symbols or anything that could be related to that under there that we could maybe piece some stuff together?
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Now having a better
So
idea of
ours
what
is
to look
the-
for.
Does the symbol itself seem familiar to anything?
Make a history check.
So 13 for the history.
13 for the history.
A 24 for the investigation.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then I actually might have something for the history check if
Oh yes, please. It was only a 13, so.
if Carasel's like talking about it, because I have Grimm's psychometry. I think I'm saying that right. Oh, I think it's only. Never mind. It's only if I make a history check. So.
Okay. Carasilla, the symbol in and of itself, I mean, being near Bromsgrove and near the ocean, the proximity to Thrall, there are tons of organizations or cults or entities that use the symbol or variations of some type of squid-like or octopus or kraken-like creature in their symbolism. So there's nothing in particular that comes to mind right off the bat, mainly just because this is a landlocked portion of, Bella Clara. There's no easy access to the sea where those
No
creatures
stories
might
of
be.
a Lake Ness for Loch Ness Monster? No?
Not in Bella Clara, no.
Okay.
No Nessie here. So with that,
Fabulous.
that's kind of what you gather. So there's nothing super helpful. With a 13 no. So you're just kind of left scratching your head at that one. Bianca, with a 24 on the investigation check, you do catch something. Sort of skirting around the edges, you can see that these stones, they've been weathered down so much by wind and rain and storm that you almost didn't catch it. But with a 24, that is just enough to see that there are small carvings and etchings in these stones that have been weathered away. They're not entirely legible anymore, but luckily you're able to identify them by maybe taking out some ink and sort of dripping it over the rock. You can see where it fills in on any of the indentation, giving you a much clearer idea of where exactly these letters are. However, let me go ahead and check something real quick. I don't believe anybody has these languages.
We need Suna.
Okay.
I mean, I've also got comprehend languages, so.
Oh, nice.
Well, let's see if anybody has this language before you do the spell slot. Never mind. Cecily, actually, Bianca, in describing it, you would be able to, Cecily, you would be able to recognize it as primordial, which you do speak.
Yes, I suddenly knew how to speak it after being dipped in the dew of Yggdrasil, so
There we go.
nice.
So
All right. Well, when she gets back up here, she can read it.
yeah, it's Bianca. You may be trying to describe it to Cecily a little bit, but Cecily is not that type of reader of the language.
Right.
No.
So there's like
It's
3
intuitive.
hash marks and a frowny face.
How
Just
would
let
you
me look
describe
at
letters
it.
anyway?
Yeah.
Like, what is an F? I don't even
Letter A
know.
is like a tent with a shelf.
Okay, I'll be up there soon.
Okay. No, I mean she's got it, so you don't have to rush. But I will say, and if Carousel is stuck kind of with the history thing, if Bianca and her can just kind of like talk it through and maybe try and bounce some ideas off each other. My grim psychometry gives me advantage on history checks that deal with the dark and occult things. So
Yeah, I'll give Bianca one more chance. As Carousel, you share that you're stuck, and Bianca read about weird shit, so maybe she might know. So Bianca, I'll let you make one more check with advantage.
okay. All right. So the first one was a 10. Oh, and the next one was a natural 1. So fuck me. We don't know.
All right, yeah, with a 10, sadly, there's not much you can
That's
you can
lower
gather.
than what Carasilla has. So we're lost.
Oh, a 10 total? Oh.
Yeah, a 10
Oh,
total.
buddy.
And I have a plus
Oh.
8 to.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, it was a 2 and a
no.
1.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
Fuck.
Yeah, you just did not study aquatic occult things.
You know, it didn't pique my interest. So I was a little bit more worried about the devil shit going on in my life.
Which
so.
is fair.
Valid.
Don't beat yourself up,
That's all right. I mean, we still have this stuff that Cecily needs to read once she gets back up here. So we're not at a total loss.
Plus, a couple more questions before she does go up. That spot where the sticks are getting sucked in by the seam and all that, is there any sign of like damage, or is there an opening that she can look through or anything like that?
Make an investigation check.
All right. I'm +0 with these. Hey, that's a 12.
Okay.
Oh,
with
you also do have your bardic, by the way.
Oh yeah. How much longer would the bardic last? How long is it usually?
Something once 10 minutes. There we go.
10. Okay, I might as well use it now then.
Yeah.
12, and then plus
D8.
D8. Nice. 13.
Uh-oh. 13,
Yikes.
you said, huh? So with a
God.
with a 13, you are able to recognize a few things. For one, on the edges, right, in each one of the 4 corners of this stone square, there are small indentations, small runic letters that are carved into it that are magical symbols. Most of these are abjuration in the way that they go about things. And real quick, my realtor's calling me, so I have to be right back. Sorry.
It's okay, we'll rev.
All right.
So Cecily, the first
Abjuration
letter.
runes.
The first letter is if you had a backwards curly Q with a hat.
What kind of hat?
Like a top hat.
Okay, I mean it's not a weird question. There's a lot of kinds of hats.
This is true. I guess that's the first one my mind went to. Okay, so that's the first letter. Second letter
Okay.
is a O with ears, like puppy ears.
Okay. Bianca, I gotta be honest, I don't know if this is doing anything for me.
It's still entertaining.
Well, it's like the spells, okay? It just, like if you wrote it out on a sheet, I wouldn't know jack shit about it. I just do it. I don't know. I look at Primordial and shit makes sense. I don't know. Information is in the wind and shit.
Well, okay, sorry to stress you out. Well, did you find anything down there besides what you
Besides
told
the Kraken.
Yeah.
I am looking at the sticks.
Yeah. What's up with the sticks?
What are the sticks telling you?
Mm-hmm.
Aha.
Oh, I know. Why don't you take one of the sticks and draw in the sand what I'm saying?
Bianca, okay, look, I'll just be right up, okay? I just want to look at this seam thing and just...
Okay, fine. Yeah. It's all good.
Okay,
You take your time.
No, like, Oh, there's some runes here.
Maybe they're the same ones.
Well, I don't know. These look like spell runes, almost.
So wait, what school did Joe say they were? I completely forgot already.
Abjuration, I think.
That's what
Abjuration? Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
which
sense,
would be
but
like...
just wanted to check, just in case they were evocation, because that'd be really funny.
Yeah, it just Cecily explodes.
Oh boy.
Whoops.
Oh boy.
But
But,
abjuration is hopefully good.
I know,
Well,
I'm not
abjuration...
kidding.
In there? I'm not
It
mad.
probably means that there's magical protection on this, so that you can't just open it like normal.
Yeah.
So...
I'm like,
It's a question of like, do we want to open it?
yeah, but I'm also like, does this seem like outright evil or just
Is it gonna be
neutral?
good?
I think
Especially that
that's a
stuff
call...
about like Nakare. Like,
Yeah.
if the bee's dying because something bad for him has happened, which could be good for us. So, I don't know.
I
It
guess
could
with
just
Witch
be-
being here, we should definitely probably assume bad.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's bad, but I think what needs to happen is she just needs to figure out what the runes are, come back up and read the thing, and then we need to start taking guesses.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's really all we got. But with the fish people, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Nakure and Wicker are, like, chumming like old pals, you know? doing a combo on us.
They met all the same. Wait, okay, guys.
Probably all 13 know each other. Have karaoke
Well, yeah,
nights.
but which of the 13, because we already know Paraido and Malice don't like each other, but who would be pal? You
Oh
know?
my god.
I feel like, are any of them friends, or do they all just kind of hate each
I mean, we know Finch doesn't like Clementine.
other? I don't know if Finch likes any of them.
Yeah, that's the
It's just a
thing.
snob.
Yeah.
He's a snob,
They're
yeah.
all 13 of them are in this for completely selfish reasons that does not involve the others. So,
But some of them had to be.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, like, who else are you gonna bond over your hatred for the world with? Like, it's gotta be these guys.
Like, man, have little family nights, you know?
Yeah. Little game nights, little bonding.
With the dark one.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's been like 1,300 years. Like,
Play bingo.
don't get me
No.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. 100 years is a long time to not have friends. But 1,300 years is a long time to have friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if there was anything, there'd be some falling outs by now.
Or, like, they started being, like, really good pals, you know? Like, okay, maybe there was, like, an adjustment period. Like, they weren't the best, but then they really grew close.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they were such a unit, and then, you know, over time, like, things started, like, chipping off, like, certain members started chipping off, and now they're back to being, like, absolutely, like,
Really?
splintered. And so, the
Gemini.
real solution... The real solution is getting them back together, because friendship is magic. Anyway, sorry.
I feel like we should write this fan fiction of the 13.
I'm on it.
The very kawaii 13.
Where they're all just, like, anime girls.
Yes!
I would read that fanfiction.
I
would
want
write that fanfiction.
it. I
I
would
want
read it.
all
write
the
it.
13 need to have terribly named powers that they announce.
Just
Honeysuckle kiss activate.
the 13 magical girl AU. I need it in my life.
I mean, I vibe with it.
Well, that was quite a bit of vamping.
Yeah, where the hell?
Now I'm like, I almost forgot we're still streaming and was about to just start talking about my life.
Kiss and it's a really good anime.
What's everyone's favorite cheese?
You know, it honestly changes a lot for me.
Yeah.
I really love
But
feta
I'm-
though.
I love feta.
I like
I'm a fan of
feta.
Asiago.
I love
I don't even know what
mozzarella.
that is.
Look,
Mozzarella is good.
I like Havarti. I like Gouda.
It's pretty good.
Gouda is
pretty good.
classic.
Yeah, applewood smoked Gouda. Stuff's delicious.
Absolute. Gouda is so consistent. Like you can always come back to Gouda, you know?
It's true. It's
I
like
think-
really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think Swiss is pretty underrated. I like Swiss a lot.
I like
No, I feel
Swiss.
like when I eat too much Swiss, I get really like annoyed at it, you know? Or I just start hating it eventually.
It's not. It's one I have to have few and far between.
Really,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it pretty frequently.
I think it has its place as like an element of a sandwich.
I agree.
But
I feel
it's
the
one
same
of those
about
things that
provolone.
yeah, me too. Like it's hard to just have provolone or Swiss on their own.
Mhm.
Like you can totally have cheddar or pepper jack or something on its own.
Agreed.
But like as a complement to a whole dish, like I think they're really cool. I also think if you're doing like 5 cheese macaroni, having Swiss be one of your cheeses is like a good move. Because it just adds, I think it adds a lot of depth to the other ones.
Yeah, I think you need like when you're doing like a 5 cheese thing like that, you need one thing that just is a little different than all of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
I don't
go
know.
get some cheese.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I like to
Do
put
we have
Gruyere.
cheese?
I have cheese.
You have cheese. Huh. Hmm. Well, I like Munster. I think that's my number one.
I'm a fan of Munster as well.
Yeah.
Munster is a really excellent snacking cheese.
Yes. I think it's followed closely by white cheddar.
White cheddar's good.
Hard to go wrong with Parmesan. Not a big
I remember once.
brie person.
What? No. I love brie. I might also be biased because I had a rat brie.
Mm. Alright, well, I'm vamped out. That's all the material I had.
Y'all want to like
Cheese.
EBP?
Joe's coming back soon.
Cecily is going to cast lightning bolt at the metal seam.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Maggie may
hell.
die. I mean, I guess she'll just go back to the
Yeah,
realm.
she can't die, so she's okay.
Yeah.
But, like,
Maggie,
if
I
you're in
have
the
a
water, you're
plan,
just
and
gonna,
I'll
like,
see
shoot
you later.
yourself.
Yeah, I'll at least take half damage, though.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We just have to hope that the seam doesn't have twice as much HP as me.
I'm also just like I don't know how many times just straight lightning is gonna open things.
No, I don't think
I'm
it
not
will at
judged.
all. I think it would definitely be like shocking grasp it and see if anything changed.
Well,
Wouldn't
And
that
even that
electrocute you too?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I would take half damage. And Maggie would just have to get summoned again later. Because,
Man.
ouch.
Which would be like, as we're heading back, because we still didn't head back. So it'd be like, electrocuting her, and then like 10 minutes later be like, hey, so you still good to be my mount? Like, it's not gonna be awkward between us now, right?
Yeah, well, Cecily would clear it with the telepathic walkie-talkies. She'd be like, hey,
Maggie
everybody...
will hear it too.
Yeah, she will. She'll be like, hey, everybody, I got a plan. It's not good news for Maggie. I just want to see how we're feeling about it.
Something tells me we have other options, but you know.
I mean, I could
And
try
again, like,
fire.
I don't know if we want to be opening this thing to begin with.
I'll just open
Right.
fire.
Okay.
It's like, it's already got a draft, so like, what if that, like, that draft is enough for like, the like, fish fucky things to be coming out. So if we like, blow this open, literal Kraken will just pop up.
It's just... Cecily unleashes Cthulhu. And now this is a much different campaign.
What if it's Pawasa and Noah resting at the bottom?
Well,
Yeah,
He's
like
just taking a nap.
Old man Poe.
Yeah, we just release him. And Evan rejoins the campaign.
man,
Somehow,
podcast.
with a newborn. Just back at it. I guess, okay, real shit though, if we did want to open it at any point, which obviously that's still debatable, what I would actually use is thunder damage. Because that has a chance of actually breaking the stone.
Yeah.
But with the
to-
protection runes, I don't know if that's really gonna. I don't know how
Yeah.
effective.
That's the thing. Without knowing what
'Cause-
the runes
hold
are,
on.
it might not do shit.
Especially because, like, so the rock's old, but the metal's new. So, like, it's only recently, I'm guessing, been sealed up / resealed.
Yeah.
And we know that whatever's happened recently, like, with the whole bee situation, like, there's a good chance that something's happened that's, like, damaged Wicca.
Right.
So, like,
Maybe.
it very much could be the seal is the thing that happened.
Yeah.
It could be.
So then, definitely don't want to be fucking around with that. Just accidentally, like, bolster up the 13.
I could also poison it.
Hell yeah.
Poison the seal. Okay.
Make it sick. We're playing the long game, guys. It's gonna fade away in its sleep a few weeks from now.
Poison the whole ass lake. No one shall drink from here again.
Yeah, all the fish come out to invade in the middle of the night, and they're like, "Oh God, what is that smell?"
Okay, wait. Poison the lake, poisons all the fish creatures in there. No more fish creatures. Done. Easy.
Boom.
Got the good strats, guys.
I could try to rip it open with Big B's hand.
That's the way.
Yeah. Or just punch it. Just giant underwater fist. We just hear it from the surface, like Cecily swims back up. And we just hear underwater, like, plume, plume, plume. It's just like trying to break it for a minute straight. How's your cheese?
It was good. I finished it.
Oh, I already. Oh.
Yeah.
I miss Joe.
Me too.
Yeah.
We should have gone to break.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of at that time now. Damn. Well. What's everybody's favorite combat encounter from all of Salamander Coast.
I mean, easy answer, more than smashing down.
Yeah, I
Oh.
liked that battle a lot.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was also, yeah, just a general good battle. With all the gravity shit as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty top tier, for sure. Recently, I really enjoyed our run through the sewers.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was really
Yeah, that was
cool.
fun.
I mean, to throw it back to like way early on, the protect the bubble.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
top 5 shit right there. That was so cool. We were level 2.
Yeah, crazy. Honestly, the fight against the blood cult was pretty good. Powassan Meep is a top 10 moment for me.
Blossom
Awesome meep. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That felt like, because that was like the first combat encounter after going into the future and back,
Yeah.
I think.
All right, we're back. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Ooh, I hope that you were thoroughly entertained by the events that were transpiring that I had heard of. So, picking up where we left off, all of you had been investigating the symbol at the bottom of this sort of basin, this lake, this rocky area. Massive thing, obviously seeing that there was this symbol of some type of kraken or squid or octopi, something down there with these metal strips laid on top of an old piece of stone. Knowing that there probably is something underneath it. Is there some type of air current or maybe magic that is pulling things down to the very bottom central point of this lake? On top of that, there were symbols that were discovered on the outer edges of the basin of the lake, with etchings in primordial. So all of those things to be said, I think that's everything. So with that, we'll go ahead and pick back up. So all of you were investigating. Was there anything else that people had questions about?
Yeah, I think I had rolled a 13, and I found the runes.
Mm-hmm. That's right, the runes.
Yeah.
So with
that's the part we didn't get a chance to say. So
that's with your knowledge of Arcana, you can recognize that these are abjuration runes of some kind. Specifically, things that kind of are like, they serve like magical locks, where when presenting the key, then whatever door is being kept shut will open. And without that key, the door cannot be opened.
All right. Good to know. Cecily will relay back to everybody. Looks like this thing has a magical seal on it. Not much I can do right now to break it open. Not that we'd even want to, maybe. I don't know. That's a group decision. Point is, we're probably going to need a key at some point if we ever want to.
Why don't you come back up here, read these symbols, and then we can decide more if we want to keep looking into this, and if we even want to open the door.
Yeah, we're a long way from finding a supply box. And she will go ahead and just using the drift globe as a little bit of a guide until she's back in the range of the daylight spell. She will start swimming back up, and will eventually, once she kind of gets out of the water, she will deactivate the altar self, run her hands over her neck, and the little slits in the side will just kind of like seal up as if they were never there, and make a gross noise probably. And her hands and feet will go back to normal. She'll start slipping on her boots and look at whatever Bianca points out.
Yeah, here's the paper.
Okay. So pointing out the stones, you can see that a fair few of them, or most of them, are fairly worn down, and there's not really whole sentences on any one rock in particular. Like I said before, all of them are easily identifiable as old, ancient, weathered pieces of stone where the writing is just barely visible. But it seems as though the same sentence is kind of repeated stone after stone, that you're able to piece together through 7 or 8 different stones. Sorry, excuse me. So, it says that, for one, all are welcome. Just be wary. The Ancient One will rest, should he not be disturbed. His meditation and vow of silence will keep him peaceful. And that is what you piece together.
Well, it doesn't seem outright evil with everything that we know of what's evil in the world.
It almost sounds like a warning not to fuck with whatever's down there. And judging by the little seam we saw where the sticks were getting sucked in. Maybe somebody did.
I don't know if I have a question for you, Joe.
Yeah.
As like an ancient spirit, does it seem like Maggie recognized the symbol at all? I know that's like a long shot, but I just figured I'd ask.
Ooh. No, I don't think Maggie would, just because I'm good. I just drank something funny. The circles don't overlap. There's not a Venn diagram to the spheres of knowledge, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just figured I'd check.
No, that's a good question, but yeah, sadly, it doesn't seem like there's much overlap there.
I also just sense now there's this little thing, or does that help with anything in terms of history checks and all that?
I mean, I'll let you make one more with disadvantage, but you already know there's not much about that symbol that you know. The name, you can try to see if there's anything you can recall.
It's funny, they were both 13s, which makes that a 18.
18. The difficult part is the name, the Ancient One, is something that is used fairly commonly in a lot of different cultures and time periods and organizations and groups and factions all over Illica. The more that you think about it, working back and forth with Cecily, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Working back and forth with Cecily, the one thing that you do pick up on, perhaps, is that modified primordial, you are able to make the connection that Arumaga is a modified version of Primordial 4 Ancient One. So the lake's name is named after the Ancient One, but in terms of an Ancient One that is an aquatic creature that exists underneath a lake in the old kingdom of Bella Clara, there is just not a lot that Carasilla would be able to ascertain from the studies that she's done. It's just not something that she's super familiar with. Yeah, it's just not something that she's her speciality.
Well, it seems like if Wicker's hanging around here, maybe he's trying to access this Ancient One for the Dark One. Maybe he's looking for this key. Because it says that if it should be disturbed, it will remain at peace. So I think the goal is to not have this disturbed at all.
But
do we know what the connection between this great old one and the weird fish people are? I don't know if I'm just missing that, or...
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Unless Wicker found a way into this somehow, why were there all those sightings recently?
Well, is there a possibility that maybe, I don't know if the door opens up enough during a certain time of night, because the spottings were, Joe, from what we were told, the spottings were consistently at night or evening in some way, right?
Correct.
So I think it could be tied to that, but I don't. Yeah.
There's something also about people being welcome to this place. It could be a simple thing of whatever these fish people are, or well, this is their home, I suppose. I mean, you don't generally need to have a welcoming into a lake.
That's true.
Suggests that there's something here.
Joe, when we saw the footprints, were they only going into the lake? Or were they coming out of the lake, circling around and coming back in?
The ones you identified specifically left the abandoned building and went into the lake. But you can see that there are tracks that do head out of the lake and away from the lake. But due to the weather and the rain, you can't really get a good idea of where they're going exactly based off of the first maybe, few hundred feet.
What kind of direction are they heading out to?
Just generally all over the place.
Okay.
I'll say that the one place where they tend to avoid the footprints aren't located heads south towards Richka.
I don't know if this is asking a lot, but does it just seem to be like leisurely movement? Like it's not just like, is there like signs that it's like determined, like it's only like trafficked in like specific paths or something, you know?
I'll need a survival check for that.
Yeah.
I'll say with disadvantage too, because it's rainy. It's hard enough to tell these are there in the first place.
That is an 8.
8, yeah. The longer the rain goes on, the harder it is to ascertain whether there are even footprints there in the first place. You're just kind of at the edge of their expiration date.
Mm-hmm.
And about what time of day, or how many hours, I guess, because it might be hard to tell the time of day because there's not any sun, but like, can we kind of vibe check how many hours we've been here, or if it's been like 1?
I'd probably say it's been about an hour with all of the investigating that you've done.
Okay, so we spent 2-ish, 1.5 hours to get here, been here an hour, so we're around like 5 o'clock-ish now, right?
I guess we left around 2, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was 3, 2 or 3 or something.
Oh,
yeah.
3.
Yeah, so then you would be at about 5:30.
Okay.
Probably head back.
Yeah, because that's gonna be a bit. I think it's good that we did this kind of looking around before a night or an evening. I guess the thing that I'm just trying to still figure out is, why is Wicker here? Like, what about this place? Because it doesn't seem directly tied to the Dark One, but it seems like something important is here.
Yeah, that just has to be.
I mean, I will also just say, if whatever this thing that's being trapped in there will cause some kind of destruction, if it's broken from its meditation, that could be enough to pique the Dark One's interest. Something that's going to cause chaos and harm. Clearly, with the supplies already being taken, if that's related or not. Not too sure, but it seems likely, and that's already been enough to threaten one town.
Yeah.
Can I just really quickly use my divine sense in this area? I know I used it in town, but just to get another just general check of the area with that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Divine vibe check.
Location of celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet, and then the desecrated or consecrated area.
So here you do not get any sense of any of those entities, nor that of desecration or hallowing.
Okay.
Well, the way I see it, there's a lot of big picture stuff here that maybe we need to come back for at some point. But first things first, we don't know where that shipment went.
I mean,
What are we gonna do in town?
it looks like whatever was here took the stuff. Because all the footprints and everything were in that building. So we can try and have Carasilla talk them down when they get here tonight. I feel like that's always a good first step to avoid violence. And I don't
At
know
least
how
hopefully
many...
buy us time is the other thing.
Hmm?
Can hopefully at least buy us time if we then want to try and track down wherever the fish people went.
I think the fish people I think the fish people are down here. I just don't think we can get to them. That is my theory.
Also bring the shipment down. I mean, imagine a lot of those things wouldn't really survive going underwater.
I don't know. Wasn't it mostly like food? I figured they just ate it.
I get the unfortunate feeling that we're gonna need to come back here in the middle of the night to know what's going on.
Probably.
Well, I guess we can try to talk them down. Maybe tell them there was evidence of theft. Maybe, if we even want them to start poking into that.
Worth a shot.
A little hesitant on trying to just redirect their rage at the lake people. But
Were we told how much was left for them?
I think the whole thing was gone.
Well, how much was the town leaving for the bandits?
Remember Russ said it was just like a month's worth of like a variety of supplies.
Okay.
So
That's a fair bit of stuff.
yeah.
And you can tell from like the 3 or 4 pallets that were in that abandoned stable, it is a decent amount of supplies.
Well, I got everyone's back. Let's just go back to town, I guess, and I'll let you all take the lead.
All right.
We'll say, as all of you are beginning to make your way, departing from this lake, this basin, Carasilla, with your 21 passive perception, you do hear something. A slight rumble you can feel at your feet. And then you can hear this light sort of swirling sound of the water. And then immediately there's another set of vibrations and the swirling sound in the water stops. So far, the only person that noticed this is Carasilla.
this is asking too much, but with the rumbling, was it like a sustained thing, like something like movement, or was it like just something that was like brief, like it was like an impact or something?
No, it was sustained. It was movement, and it was something that was large and coming from under the water.
But then stopped.
Mm-hmm. Well, it stopped, and then it happened again.
Should we go fishing?
Yeah, someone get a rod. Yeah, we'll kind of relay that. And looking back at the water, is there anything to kind of help suggest what that was, or?
Make a perception check as you decide to investigate a little bit more in depth?
That is a 21.
21. Okay. So with a 21, Carasilla, looking out and around, you're just trying to see if you can maybe see something, anything. You look back towards the lake, scanning the water for any movement, and the water is incredibly still. Aside from the small reverberations in the water from a raindrop hitting and creating the small echoes around it, there isn't much you see coming from there. You begin scanning around the forest around you. And you hear rustling in the leaves, in the trees. From above you, you look up. And okay. As far as you can tell, you don't see anything in the trees. But then you begin to hear this rumbling coming from the ground. Large sounds of what, maybe some type of large creature breaking through the trees, but as soon as the rumbling gets closer and closer and closer, as all of you turn around, and all of you now are able to hear it, as you turn and look, what you see is not what you anticipated at all. You see a creature with tendrils and tentacles coming off of its back. Its skin is these deep hues of blue and green, scales jutting out of their body like fish. Their hands, where hands should be, are these giant, like, crab claws. Their body has this, like, twinge of bioluminescence to it. Part of it is transparent. You can see the gleaming of organs underneath, the beating of a human heart. You recognize elvish ears, and any of the spots where there are fish-like or crustacean or sea animal-like qualities, you can see these stitch marks, as if these things were affixed or grafted to this person's body. There is a mismatch in tone and color. You can see not just one, but two, but three of these creatures coming out of the forest in different areas. You can recognize now that they sprouted up from different rivers that sprout out from that lake. And then, Carasilla, as you look back up into the air as these three large creatures are running towards you, not only that, but you see these much more slender, lithe creatures sort of crouched in the treetops. You can see bald and shaved, their faces humanoid, but webbed fingers, and these tendrils of skin hanging off of their arms attached to their backs, almost like what you would see on a manta ray, but just strung to their back and their arms like wings, and this deep, deep blue bioluminescence underneath their skin. Like I said, the same thing, their organs and body parts entirely visible underneath the glowing of their skin. It is horrifying as you see them not only in the trees, but then jump up and begin to soar in the air above you. The final thing that you notice is that the creatures flying in the air, around their necks, they wear medallions. And those medallions are made from a deep, dark stone with a golden emblem on top of it. As they fly above you, as these massive creatures begin to run at you. Sadly, that is where we're going to have to end our session.
Oh my god.
So, Let me go ahead and share some of these things with you just so you can get an idea
No,
of.
thanks.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So, oh no, it didn't change the the battle map screen. I just changed to it, and it for some reason the art decided to change back to the weird ones. SC new battle. There we go. That's normal. Okay, so we have the flyers, like these. Bop, bop, bop.
Oh.
And like I said, you can see that like manta ray like skin. Those
They
flaps
actually look
coming out.
really cool, but the way I was imagining it was horrifying.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this
Well,
is
that's
so
the
far
that's
to
the
me.
thing is these are a lot prettier than the other ones. The ones that you're looking at are a lot more like base stages where you can clearly see the stitch marks from where the grafting would have been done. And then these are the brutes that are currently running at you. There you go.
Oh.
Those ones are a little bit more gross. So yeah, you can see 4 of those creatures flying in the air, and then you can also see 3 of these creatures running at you. Haven't spent so much time in this area, but yeah. So when we yeah. Oh, don't worry, it only gets weirder from here, Gemma.
Oh, really? Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I was obviously, you should never show your hand, but D&D takes longer in certain parts than others. So I'm very excited for when you do eventually get underneath there and you maybe potentially investigate said home of said ancient one, seeing what's underneath there. I think that'll be really cool.
Oh boy.
But it'll have to be something that we check out next week. Luckily, next Tuesday will definitely be a full length session. I can promise you that, especially because I'll be on summer vacation by then. No more school for me till August.
Ew.
Woo! So I'm very excited. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed this more bite-sized episode of the Salamander Coast. And you know what? I'm okay with it because as a viewer, I'm sure that it makes the viewing experience a little bit easier. It's like after you watch 4 or 5 movies in a row and you decide to watch like an episode of The Office, you're like, oh, that was easy. So hopefully you're feeling a similar thing. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Farewell.